You know, very often people will tell me, Pat, you have no idea how hungry I am. I'm the hungriest I've ever been. Oh my gosh, I'm the hungriest person you'll ever meet. How do you measure hunger? And people said, you know, somebody who's focused, somebody who's clear, somebody who's this, somebody who's that. I said, you have no idea how much for me it's so important to identify exactly what's the number one thing to measure the hungriest person in the room. Number one thing to measure the hungriest in the room. Not number two thing, not number three thing. For example, I was lazy as a kid growing up. My dad would say, why are you so lazy? Why are you so lazy? Why are you so lazy? So I studied the topic of laziness. Why are some people lazy? Because their life is boring. They don't have a target. They don't have something they're going after, right? So laziness is stemmed from boredom, right? If you look at bitter people, why are some people bitter? Why are they so bitter? Because they're not creating anything. They're not building something new. They're not creating, so they get bitter and upset and agitated about everybody else that's trying to create something, right? Element of bitterness is they're not creating. They're in a state where they're no longer building anything. Well, how do you measure somebody that's the hungriest? You know what's the number one way you measure somebody that's hungry? Very simple. Their sense of urgency. That's simple. Let me explain to you why. So people say, wow, you have no idea how hungry I am. Really? Yeah. What'd you do about it today? Oh, not today, but tomorrow I'm gonna, you ain't hungry, man. You just think you're hungry. You are not hungry. You may be hungry to go eat lunch. You may be hungry to go have dinner. Fine, I'll give that to you. You ain't hungry to compete in the marketplace. If you said, Pat, I'm really hungry, fine. What are you urgent about? What question are you trying to get the answer to right now? What person are you trying to contact and get a hold of right now? If they don't answer the phone, what is your method of getting a hold of them? I'll call them tomorrow. It's a done deal tomorrow. It's dead. Tomorrow may never happen. The deal that you were gonna close may never happen because you waited till tomorrow. So 2021, I can guarantee you one thing. Anybody in your circle that has been the same person, if you look at any of your best friends that you've been hanging out with, they've been the same. If one of them changes, and by the end of 2021 you say, hey man, what happened to you? It's something different about you. He or she may not even know what changed, but I can guarantee you what changed about them that they may not even know. They became more urgent because hungry people who are truly hungry, they're just more urgent than everybody else in the game, period. If I need to learn a skill set today, I'm gonna go buy the course today. I'm gonna get better at it today. Not tomorrow, not this afternoon, not later on tonight, today. You go and assess all your friends and your family and decide who's the hungriest. You'll say, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense, Pat. You know what, that one guy in my life, he freaks like this all the time, and he is so flippin' urgent about things. Exactly. That's how you determine who's the hungriest. So if you're watching this yourself and you're saying, you know what, I think I'm pretty hungry. Show it with your urgency. The number one reason why so many entrepreneurs lose momentum is because of start-stop. Let me explain to you what I mean by start-stop. They start, they get excited. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna get after another. You know, I'm so motivated because I'm gonna do it for my mom, my dad, my husband, my wife, myself. This is so great. And they go from making $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, oh my gosh, 10 grand a month, 15, 20, 30 a month. And in that 30 a month, whatever that number is, all of a sudden they go from 30 a month to 17 to 9 to $4,000 a month, and they lost momentum. So what happened there? Because of start-stop. They start and then they stop. Now why do they stop? Maybe their stomach got full. Maybe they got casual. Maybe they got cocky. Maybe started coming to office a little later. Maybe they thought they knew it all and they became this motivational speaker. I'm just gonna go and speak all over the place. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And the business starts dropping. But those things become the cause of a business dropping. So now, why does that happen? If it's start-stop, what causes somebody to have so many start-stops? Very simple. The question that most people don't have the answer to is, who do you want to be in life? Let me ask you one more time. Who do you want to be in life? Who? What kind of a life do you want to live? What do you mean by who do I want to be in life? Who do you want to be in life? Do you know what you want to do? Is it just the cars? Is it just for people to say you're cool? Is it just the house? Is it just the, money? Is it just the accolades, the fame? Is that what it is? What is it? Do you want to make an impact? What is your life going to be worth one day? What are people going to say about you when you die? The eulogy is going to be written. What are they going to say about you? Who do you want to be in life? How are your kids going to remember you? What are your parents going to say about you? What are your siblings going to say about you? What are your friends going to say about you? What's their school going to say about you? Or is it just one of those things, boom, you disappear and you're gone, and people come to your funeral one time, and maybe they show up once a year, and then afterwards, you're just forgotten about. And you know why that happens? Because most people have no clue who they want to be in life. And I know this sounds kind of strange, but people just have no idea who they want to be in life. You see, years ago, I sat down, and this thing I'm recording with this phone is the number one reason why so many people don't know who they want to be in life, because they say we touch this phone 150 times a day. That means we don't have a chance to get away from newsfeed, Instagram, all this content we consume, to actually sit down and ask this simple question. Who do you want to be in life? What kind of a life you want to live? What do you want to do with your kids? What do you want to do with your wife, your husband? What kind of a life you want to live? Do you know the answer to those questions? And so whatever that dream is, you can be, so, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. The bigger the dream is, the longer your run has to be without you stopping. Let me explain. If your dream is to be a billionaire, maybe you got to go on a 20, 30-year run. If your dream is to be a millionaire, maybe you got to go on a 10-year run. If your dream is to make $250,000, maybe you got to go on a 3 to 5-year run. If your dream is to just make 6 figures, maybe you got to go on a 12 to an 18-month run. But whatever that run is, you cannot stop. And every time you stop, that dream gets more distant and distant, and this goes away and away and away from you. Why? Because you're stopping. And to achieve the life that you want to live requires momentum to be in your favor. So number one reason why so many entrepreneurs lose momentum is start-stop. Number two reason is, who do you want to be in life? They don't have the answer to that question. Think about it. When I ask you that question, did you automatically have the answer? Did you say, well, I want? So if you do that, you don't know it yet.